It is the 11th of February, and look who is here. It's our good friend, Brian Duffy. This is going to be fun, I can just tell already, because you came in and put a smile on our face with a simple cartoon that you drew.
Yeah. But this one here is going to be a little bit interesting. I'm actually going on a high wire act here with no net. This is maybe a way of explaining how I come up with a cartoon idea.
Ooh.
And this is what it's going to be. And this was being formulated in the drive over. So it's not a complete idea yet.
All right.
I think I'm pretty close, but so you'll get to see it as I put it together.
So we're flying by the seat of our pants.
We are flying by the seat of my pants, right? And this is live TV. Is this live TV?
And you're wearing pants, right?
I am wearing pants.
Good.
This time he's wearing pants. Okay.
Yes, I do have pants on. Anyway, this is what it's going to be. All right, I was thinking about this whole football brain injury thing.
Oh,
yeah.
And
okay, concussions.
the concussions, and it's a great subject. And so, for cartoonists, you read the information, but then you've got to be able to come up with something to drive that idea, a metaphor of some sort.
Okay.
And so my ideas they always form in my head first. I see them up there, and then I'll sketch them out.
All right, we'll go for it.
What we're going to do is what I thought of actually was.
And do you do this because it's topical? You do this because you think it needs more awareness? You want to do?
I do this because I'm interested in it.
Okay.
And that's the main reason, why I'm drawing whatever cartoon I'm drawing.
How does your morning go when you get up and you are thinking of an idea and you want to find out about the news of the day? What do you look at?
The news of the day. Generally, I mean that's. I know it sounds ridiculous that way, but that's kind of what I do. I see what people are seeing and reading out there, and and what interests me. But it also has to be what people are talking about. So, all right. So, I was thinking about this entire situation of very severe brain injuries by a lot of players and ex-players, and so what I thought was and I actually, as I'm going back and forth through all of these different pencils and pens, I do the same thing at home. So you're getting to see what I actually do. All right, so I thought a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like a brick wall.
Looks like a brick wall.
Brick wall. Really, the line that struck me, that jumped out at me, that just formed from some, catalog card back in my mind somewhere, was. Brain injuries, you can't do much about them after they've happened.
Right.
So, all the king's horses and all the king's men.
Right.
What is that?
Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty.
Right. So, that was the image that came into my mind was these football players, it's no matter what anybody does or afterwards, it's that nobody's going to be able to put them back together again. And so that was the nucleus of an idea of having Humpty Dumpty as generally an egg as a football player.
An egg head.
An egg, yeah, an egg head, but they're not, and then then coming out once you break would be moving down into the part of the, and if anybody has seen the pictures after Humpty Dumpty hits the ground, obviously there's pieces there and there's also egg yolk coming out. So I thought the egg yolk would be perfect for, that I could have brain injuries here.
It's a scary situation. We're hearing local ties to it these days and some very unfortunate circumstances in a sport that is a pair of being American.
Well,
your kids are a part of football.
These injuries have been around for the longest time. I started playing what was called out East Pop Warner football years ago. And when we got to high school, there were helmets that, even back in the 70s, that were just for players that had already gotten concussions.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. So this has been around for a long, long time.
But we're just now understanding the true seriousness of it?
Well, you know, I think we're starting to look at yeah, I think we're starting to look at it as the long-term effects that nobody has really focused on prior to this time. Used to be knee injuries and you know, injuries such as different joints, whatever. But now, this is showing itself to be something extremely serious. So.
You know, last week in Duffy, you probably know and appreciate this. We lost a BMX legend named Dave Mira, who had also done the Race Across America cycling race. But he took his own life, and they're wondering if, because of all the head injuries he had in BMX, if that may have had something to do with it, and they're investigating that. So it's not just limited to football.
No, it's not just limited to football, and that's the thing, is that it can be cycling, it can be soccer, because soccer has proven that the headers that a lot of kids and adults take, that has an effect too. I do know in cycling, because I've crashed a couple times and come out with a concussion, it doesn't take much. I mean, everybody, you know, they seem to forget that the brain is, you know, is a free-floating object for the most part, other than what's attached in the back of the brainstem. But every time you take a hit, it hits against the brain case. It hits against bone, and so it bruises. And, you know, a constant thing, you fall off your bike, you do that, that's one time. But in football, if you watch these guys, it's again and again and again.
Opposition's getting bigger and stronger, and the hits are becoming harder and harder.
And sometimes they say, well, you know, the equipment we have is better and better, so if it's better, then they're going to hit harder. And it's not always going to be something that that's going to be able to be protected. When you watch these guys have their heads bounced off the ground and come back up again, that's got to be, I mean, that continual constant has got to be affecting them in a tremendous way, and it's going to be something that it'll be pretty horrific in the years to come for a lot of these players.
But in case you're ever curious as to how he comes up with his ideas, you just witnessed it just now.
And another cartoon he's been currently working on, Craig, if you go to Loose Surface, is one you can check out. If you go to his website.
Tell me your website,
you still have
Duffy.
your political cartoons as well.
BrianDuffyCartoons.com. You know, after watching what Chris Christie did to Marco Rubio in that last debate, you know, he repeated himself, and you know, you'd hear it, but it was finally somebody said, "There it is. This is what this guy's doing." So that was my cartoon on him.
So you're still having fun with the politics.
Oh yeah.
And you will for all time.
Yes, I will.
Yes, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Duffy, good job, man.
Thank you so much.
Interesting to see you come up with formulate those ideas.